Bing bada.
Hi.
Hi.
It feels like we've been gone a while.
It feels like it's been 3 weeks since we recorded last.
Yeah.
Has it been?
No, we record every week, but
Okay.
I've been out of town and I think that is the culprit.
I think that put us both out of whack, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we usually don't even we don't see each other every week. We live like an hour from each other. But I did feel your presence not here
Oh.
anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like there were several creatures who felt my presence being gone. Namely, I say creatures because it was my dogs.
I was
And
wondering why I was being called a creature, but okay.
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's
Okay.
like all the creatures. It's like
Okay.
magical. Yeah, we all live in a forest together or something.
What creature am I? What kind of creature do you think?
That's a great question. Ooh, okay, wait, let me actually think about it for a second because if I say the first thing that comes to mind, it would be an owl, but like that doesn't
Ooh,
feel right to me.
that feels
Um
right to me. Pretty, very wise. No, that tracks.
what's the owl's name in Winnie the Pooh?
The grumpy old one. Wait, no. I'm thinking of the owl, the Tootsie Pop owl.
Not the Tootsie Pop owl. Oh my gosh, we have to Google. I think it's just owl.
Oh,
It doesn't have a
that's
name.
how original of them.
Yep, just owl. Okay. Like you're cute like that owl. That's what I was thinking.
Like it. No, I relate
I
to
do think
owls.
you're some kind of bird. Yeah.
Okay.
Something with
Okay.
wings.
Cool. No, I like that.
Mhm.
Owls don't have a lot of predators either, so that's kind of like, yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
all about that. So Amber today has a very fitting username for the day because she just came back from the mountains. Her name is Mountain Mama. And she does still have the subtitle Xenon Car as well, which I'm not sure what we're filing that under. Maybe mistake. Maybe Xenon went to the mountains.
Well, actually, I happened to look under updates and I saw that you QA checked me.
I did.
And so I was
Yeah.
like, it would kind of be funny if I left Xenon there just for
Oh, okay.
extra pizzazz.
I like it. Okay.
Tori today is napping ninnies, and I actually am really upset that I chose Mountain Mama now because I
Oh.
am afraid it might confuse us down the line because of the alphabetical order situation.
Maybe I skip the M's now.
N M. I'm like, wait, is M after N? I had to think about it for a second.
L
We
M
haven't.
N M N. No,
Oh, so we've already done M, right? Since N, you did N because LMNO.
I did. Melancholy. Just
Melancholy.
kidding.
Okay, so then fucking scratch everything I just said.
No, me too. I was the one who's like, well, I'll just skip the M next
Thank you for matching my energy completely. Thank you. Blessings.
time. So for updates this week, I did. Hi, I'm Tori, QA for Out of Touch, and I did quality assurance check Amber.
She's
Um,
assured that it's assurance.
there seemed to be when I was editing last week's episode, there seemed to be a little bit of doubt between the two of us.
That's fair.
If Carr was Xenon's last name, so I thought clickety click click, I'll just find out real quick. And yes, Amber is right. Of course, we knew that. Um,
I know my
and
shit when it comes to the girl of the 21st century. That is it. That's very niche.
I will say you're pretty knowledgeable on Disney original movies in general too.
Yeah, I think that's a large part of my childhood. So that tracks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And my kids would agree with that. So, because I'm always trying to get them to watch one with me. I actually
Deja
had
vu.
this I actually had this moment of like the Mandela effect,
Oh
um,
fuck.
where I I thought that the kid, okay, do you remember the Disney Channel original movie, The 13th Year? It's where he turns into a merman. Let me turn
No,
through.
this is the one that, yeah, you and I have talked about this before. That one doesn't, I think
That one doesn't settle with you. That's okay.
I don't
That
even
one's on
remember
my
it.
list. Okay,
Uh,
so I thought, do you remember Smart House?
of course.
Okay, so you know the kid, the main character
Yes.
from that movie. Okay, I thought it was that, and he was also in, maybe you remember, Luck of the Irish.
Oh, I love that one. Oh, I
Okay, so
forgot.
he's in Luck of the Irish and he's in Smart House, right? I thought he also was the kid from the 13th year.
It was not?
And he's not. And I was picking out movies with my kids. I was like, "Oh, the 13th year, that one's really good." And I went to pull it up and I was like, "Who is that? Who is this Walmart knockoff of the kid from Smart House?" And I was like, "Oh my god, no, that's just not who's in that movie."
That's so funny because I think you told me like a while ago that that was the same person, and I have believed it I mean, maybe a year ago, and
Yeah,
just believed it ever since.
that
Okay,
tracks. Yeah,
well,
it's
good to
not.
know.
I'm glad I got the chance to correct that error.
I am too, because if I ever ended up at a trivia night, which I don't, because I'm so bad at it, and it happened to be Disney original movie themed,
Yeah.
not Harry Potter, because it seems like every single one of them are Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Well, now I will know. So
Well, and I have no idea what that kid's name is one way or the other, but I know what his face looks
right,
like, okay?
yeah.
So that's all that matters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Um, we did talk about the kind of the Pegasus costume in the
Mhm.
last episode, and we were like joking about being the front or the back of it. I just kind of wanted to say that I don't think I was thinking about it a little bit more, and I don't think I could be the back of it because I get really dizzy easily, and I feel like I would get vertigo in there, like because what can you see? Right? And then
To
you
see other
just
person's ass.
you just see the back of the Pegasus just kind of like leaning over every once in a while.
It's like, why is its back legs constantly like it's like one of those things outside of businesses that kind of like that's what the Pegasus would be doing.
Mhm.
Well, and if Terrell's the other part of the Pegasus, he's gonna fall asleep. So it's a narcoleptic Pegasus at this point. A narcoleptic Pegasus
Oh my gosh. So
with vertigo. That's not a good combination. It's not.
that has to be the episode title.
That's the clip. You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. So for the listeners, our friend Terrell he can't stay awake very well
Ever.
including in social settings.
Mostly in social settings. I'm not convinced it's a problem when he's by himself.
Oh goodness. That is a hilarious image. Okay. Well, I'm glad I brought that update.
Narcoleptic Pegasus.
I also googled we were talking about where hurricanes happen. They can happen here, but also in the Western Pacific. When I wrote that down, I was aware of where the Western Pacific was.
That was my first question. Like, girl,
That
the Pegasus isn't good at geography either. That was not our specialty.
yeah, it's been 4 days since then. And
That's a lifetime.
Lord knows where that is, but I feel like it's descriptive enough. If you would like to find it out, you can. But it's not here. It's not here in the US.
Just anyway.
So for my third favorite show, I said that it was Southern Charm last week. And I would like to change that answer. Now, it does not affect the scoring because you still did not guess these ones.
That's fair.
So the score remains the same. I would like to make that clear. But my favorite show, I think I would have to switch it to It's Always Funny and
I was just hoping you were going to say it's always funny in Philadelphia. I was hoping you would get
my gosh, my third favorite episode should have been It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Or It's
I'm
Always
actually
Funny in Silladelphia.
It's a shame that we already named the episode Pegasus.
A
Narcoleptic Pegasus.
narco
Vertigo.
travels to Silladelphia.
Where it's always funny. Whew, it took us a minute to get there. We landed that
Okay.
plane. I'm actually still stuck on the fact that neither of us put down It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the problem with this kind of stuff because I always think too like recent and like it's
Yes.
hard. Oh,
I know, because you didn't put down Gilmore Girls, and I'm still not Gossip Girl, and I'm still salty.
It's top 5.
So what's going on this week?
Okay, so I feel like I have traveled to Middle Earth and back again.
Okay. That's far.
Yeah, when in reality, I have traveled from Florida to Virginia for 4 days, like I've done a million times. But this time, my kids were with me. I go to Virginia all the time for 4 days, and it's usually no big deal. But with my kids, it was a lot of work, but definitely worth it. Also, as a parent, it's so interesting to see things through your kids' eyes. I obviously think Virginia is the most magical place on earth. So to me, Virginia is like Fern Gully, right? Like it might as well be Middle Earth to me.
I feel like if there was a live action Fern Gully, like it may be shot it's either in the Pacific Northwest or it's in Virginia in the Appalachians.
Yeah. A little of both, even. So it was so much fun getting to convert my kids to Virginia lovers. So we took them to, like the hometown pizza spot and the park we grew up at and the river that we grew up at. And I especially had this one moment watching James, my youngest, who thinks everything is magical. Okay.
Oh, yes.
But doesn't have any memories of Virginia. His older brother at least remembers going to Virginia another time. So this wasn't totally new to him, but it was basically to my youngest just because he hasn't been since he was a baby. And he was skipping rocks down at the river at Low Water Bridge. I've told you about Low Water Bridge.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were just watching the sunset and skipping rocks, and it was like everything was orange and the sun was crazy, and Low Water Bridge has a great view because you can see the mountains, and the river just is like takes up the entire view, and then the mountains are behind it. So again, very Fern Gully. So that was really magical. And at one point he was balancing on rocks and just fell in the water. And he kind of like looked back at me and just kept like trotting. He was like, oh, I'm already wet now, so we're just going with this.
I love that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then my favorite part was hiking at sunset with all my friends and my kids. It was one of those hikes where it's like it wasn't super easy, but it wasn't super hard either. It took us about a half an hour. And it was pretty rocky in a couple places, but it's one of those hikes that really pays off.
Pictures were so picturesque, honestly.
Well, and I just had like my own personal photographers there. First of all, Birdie is a photographer. And then our other two friends were also there. And I just had this moment with my kids where we're hugging and there's a bunch of pictures of it. And the best part of it was like it wasn't posed at all. Like we were actually just having that moment. My friends were just behind me documenting it. So it was just awesome. Like so cool. And my kids, I think, will have those memories forever. So it was really special. We're just exhausted.
Yes.
So much traveling. Yes. Yes, for sure.
Always takes a lot out of you traveling, especially flying.
Yeah. And that was also like a foreign concept to my kids since they hadn't done it in so long. But again, James, when the flight attendants came around for like drinks and pretzels, he was like, we get mid-flight snacks? You would have thought you gave the kid $1,000,000. It was hilarious. He
I
loved
will
it.
say that is one of the best parts about flying.
Yeah.
And
You're
there's
getting
not
a
much
free
good.
soda. No. No, not at all.
I have been pretty boring this week. I've just been disc golfing all the time. And that's it. That's the end of that. I mean,
I
really.
really like that bullet point is in all caps. Tori's just been disc golfing.
Yeah, it was so funny. I noticed that after typing it, and I was like, oh, I have to delete it and retype it. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not.
No.
It's fine. It's fine the way
We're
it is.
it's actually the way it's supposed to be, I think.
Yeah,
One could argue.
don't cap shame me. Um, Tomorrow, I don't know if you saw Taylor Nation just recently posted that they're doing a listening party tomorrow at 6 p.m. I
For
think
what?
Eastern Standard Time. Let me read the post. She says, currently practicing our TS the Eras Tour choreography to prepare for a hashtag Swifty summer streaming party. Meet us at Station Head tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you think you can keep up with our dance moves in the chat. Kind of curious a little bit as to now. I will say the last one on Station Head listening party, we were all like, are we getting a third album of TTPD? It happened at 3:33 p.m. is exactly when it ended or something, and it was right after all the double twos.
Yeah.
And nothing came of it. So we're probably just
Could it
clowning.
be Reputation? I mean, dare I say it?
That's what Shoshana is saying. Like maybe she just streams Reputation Taylor's version right there. No explanation.
That is the only way she drops Reputation, whether it happens tomorrow or not. It doesn't matter. That's the only way it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know
I
anymore.
I tell you what, I'll be there.
I can't keep up with Taylor. Like, I actually am so glad that you put this under what's going on this week, because I was going to ask, like, what is happening in the Taylor world?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to know.
I'm still thinking we're going to hear something about Reputation in August. And then I think Debut is going to come out on her birthday.
So, did you see that in that post, the song on the post is August?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Look at
No.
the screenshot.
I'm so sorry. I told you. Sorry, not you. I'm just
Don't
like
apologize. This is epic.
August.
I had this happen to me a bunch when I was a new mom, and I talked to other moms at the time who were experiencing the same thing. And what we all had in common was that we were young moms, and they were other young moms, either from our hometown or like around our hometown. And it was just, they were just like, oh, we're having a baby, and like, you have a baby. So, like, we should be friends. And I was just like, no, we're not going to be friends.
No, yeah.
And I was a lot bitchier back then, honestly. It was just a very strange thing to me. Like, we don't know each other. We've never had a conversation.
Yes.
Literally, the only thing that we have in common is that we have children. And frankly, I just don't think that's enough to bring us together, my dear.
Yes, yeah, I agree. It's kind of strange. You did kind of know who they were though, right? Like from around town or something.
Well, it was like I had mutual friends with them. And so
Okay.
I could kind of guess, like, oh, okay, so this isn't someone who's like, I just don't know them, but they're
Gotcha.
from where I grew up, basically. So
Yeah, that is so weird.
it's not like crazy that they friend requested me. It's just like
Kind of.
the intention behind the friend request is a little odd. You know, like if we grew up in the same place, it's not that weird that you would friend request somebody, but it's just like, oh, we're both moms, we have to be friends.
Yeah. And like if when I grew up in the I don't know, I've had people who friend request me and we've grown up in the same place, but I'm like, I don't like know you though, so why would I accept?
Yes. Agreed.
And it's funny too. I will say like the different social media apps, there's like a different level of like how intimate I have to be with someone to accept them. So like Snapchat, very close to everyone on Snapchat. If I don't know, one of my interns or something requests me on Snapchat, I would be like, ugh, you know,
Yeah.
but they could request me on Facebook and I'd be like 100% for sure. No big deal.
So interesting. So it does. I was gonna ask, like, does the app matter? But it definitely
For
does.
sure. And then Instagram's in the middle of there. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I'll post to my
Could go either
Instagram
way.
story and not my Facebook because I'm like, it's a broader audience on Facebook. You got to be careful there.
That's true.
Instagram's a little more closed off, and then Snapchat is very closed off.
Yeah, like I have like 10 friends, and it's basically like my 10 closest friends.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Probably not even 10. I feel like I'm exaggerating it. It's probably like 5.
I have,
About 5.
well, I have like 5 people in one group. And I never snap them individually pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, like people who I don't know anymore, absolute no on Facebook. Like you get this like sometimes people just have the same last name as me, but like
Yeah.
not related to me at all. And they're like, "Oh, we have the same last name, like shouldn't we be friends?" No.
Well, and it's again like the intentions.
Yeah, where's this going?
We're assuming, right, what their intentions are when we see the friend request. Like, oh, they know me from work or they know me from this.
Mhm.
It's like I'm assuming why you want to be friends, but like that in itself is weird.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing is weird.
Yeah, just like don't put me in that position.
Yeah, like just don't befriend me.
So
Is
kind
the
of
advice I'm giving.
don't be my friend. Kind of flipping it. Do you ever do a friend request?
Uh-uh. No.
No, right? Absolutely
I
not.
don't go looking for people. There's 2 types of people in the world. Those that look for people and friend request them, and those that are like, don't find me. Actually, Birdie was just talking about this recently. She was saying how she has a different name on Facebook than she has
Oh.
anywhere else because she's like, I don't want people finding me on there.
Yeah.
And the person talking to her was like, why don't you want to be found? And she was just kind of like, mind your business. Worry about yourself.
That's
I
for
have
me
my
to know
business.
and you to not find out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
So,
funny.
oh,
Yeah, for some reason sending a friend request like I have to be like in a full blown like I've been dating this person for 6 months before I actually send the friend request, I feel like.
I think I've sent a couple of friend requests in the last few years. Do you want to know what app they were on? You'll never guess.
Oh, I'll never guess. So then it's got to be like I don't know, the PlayStation app or something.
No, LinkedIn. So
Oh,
I do
boo.
request. I only use LinkedIn. LinkedIn. Um, I only use LinkedIn because my boss has yelled at me about it so many times for like professional development. So I have used it a little bit for that to just build somewhat of a network.
Yeah.
But you're right, gross. Ugh, like it does feel networking to me does feel really like gross, even if it's
Especially
not.
cyber networking.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I do.
Oh. Did I say that?
Did I do that? Steve Urkel over here.
Now that's out of touch.
What's the machine that Steve Urkel goes into to change into Steve Urkel? Or, I mean, to change into Stefan?
Oh, I forget. I don't know.
Let us know.
Email us.
Email us.
Let us know.
So I think the general consensus on how do we feel about friend requests, we don't, it doesn't even have to be friend requests from people we don't know. I think we've cleared up how we feel about friend requests in general, even if we know who it is.
I do not want my friend number to change. It can go down. It cannot go up. Don't request me, and I will not be requesting you.
And my shit is private, so if you want to see what I'm doing, you have to request me. So, and I'm not going to accept it. I pretty much delete them all. And actually on Facebook, I forget why I was looking, but I don't ever check Facebook notifications. And I think I was checking them because like you had said, oh, there was something in this chat. And then I remembered seeing that I had like 6 friend requests. And I was like, oh, no, I didn't. No, I don't. I just closed that tab and never went back. So
I love that. Oh, you know what's almost worse too? Last thing, and then we can move on. When you get a friend request from someone who you do know, but it's someone you're already friends with on Facebook.
oh, that is my favorite thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's hilarious if that ever happens. Because you're like, oh, did you delete me?
Oh, no, I'm saying like you are like it's a double profile, like a spam profile.
That went over my head.
But no, that's a good point too, because that has happened. It's like, well, I
Yeah.
know we were friends, and I didn't delete you,
Yeah.
so
Funny text.
this one's from Amber. She said, "I'm feeling kooky, might cut bangs." And this was actually today, right before recording.
Uh-huh.
Um, it looks like either she cut them and hates them and put them in cute little braids, or we do not have bangs. So
We
maybe
don't. Mm-mm.
we
We
don't.
don't. We
Okay.
got scared. It's gotten really long, and now I'm afraid if I do it, it's gonna go wrong. But now you've pointed out that I could probably put them in braids if I fuck it up. So
True. Yeah, and the braids thing is cute. So no harm, no
oh,
foul.
okay.
My
Send in the
response.
tweet.
That's fine. I don't need to say my response.
I'm gonna be thinking about this moment for the rest of my life. Ugh, I hate interrupting. Okay, so the next one I have to give a little context for. It's from my husband. It's probably the best text message exchange we've ever had.
I would like to say my text then just went down to 3 and not 4. Okay. I knew this had to make the list.
Is this okay? Was yours like in response to this? So you can also share our exchange after I
Okay.
share the original one because it was funny. So part of what makes Virginia awesome is that when you're in the mountains, you just lose service. Okay. And I kind of don't hate that, except for when I'm trying to text Tori and my husband. Like the only 2 people that I text, and I can't text them because I've lost service. Okay. So we're driving through the mountains. My husband and I are texting back and forth. We're having a really sweet moment, honestly. And he said that he was missing us because my husband stayed in Florida while my kids and I were in Virginia. And he says, I'm sure missing you guys. And I respond, we miss you too. James has said like 10 times he wishes you were heterosexual. And I immediately said, laughing my ass off, no. And corrected it to here with an asterisk. But the thing is, the part where I said no and corrected myself didn't go through, okay? Until like, I don't know, like 2 hours later or something. Like, it was a while. Okay? It was a minute.
Did he say anything during that time? Like, did he respond at all?
He responded and he said, your autocorrect is wild.
I love that he knew. But now, how do you go from here to heterosexual?
And it's just even funnier that it was like I was saying something that my 10-year-old son said. Like, James has said like 10 times he wishes you were heterosexual. Like, oh, God. Yes, I don't know how Siri possibly thought that here and heterosexual were close to being the same
I mean,
thing.
we're going from 4 to, and I'm not going to count the letters, but like 16 letters.
Yeah,
Okay.
At least.
Siri, what in the fuck?
Might
Siri.
as well have been onomatopoeia. Okay.
I will say that is also my funniest text exchange from this week. And it was kind of funny because I think the service thing was a bit of an issue as well. Um, Amber texts me, "Oh my God," in all caps, Surrey, and then back to lowercase, "just tried me for the last time." And I go, "Oh my God, I'm so hyped. I can't wait to see what this is." Don't hear anything else for like another like 40 minutes.
It's so hard to be a consistent texter in the mountains. Like, and I never have that problem in Florida. I always have service. Like, there's very few times where I don't. So it was just like, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to function like that. It's like the whole time I'm sitting there, like looking at my phone, like heterosexual. It says heterosexual. And like ultimately, I know my husband knows that was not what I was trying to say.
Right.
But it's just so funny that like I couldn't even correct it until like 2 hours later.
Oh my gosh. Hilarious. I love that.
Crying again.
Yes.
So my next one is from Tori, and it's from a group chat. And she says, "I swear I'm breaking my phone next time that shit doesn't to my text right."
Damn it.
And then she says, "That's it. Do my text right. See you guys. If you don't hear from me, you know why."
And when I typed that one, the one that said "to my text right," my thumbs were moving so slow. I was like, there's no way I'm messing this one up.
No, she did that on purpose.
I think she's going in and editing them after.
Yes,
She
absolutely.
she has it out for us. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This one was from an anonymous friend. I was talking about a dude who was annoying me. And anonymous said, "Shall I pee in their cup?" And I said, "No, that's a little far, but LOL, that's hilarious." And then anonymous sends me a meme, and it's got like a priest maybe or of some sort holding up like it looks like a little white wine thing. And he's like holding it up in the first shot and then kind of sipping it in the second shot. And the caption on it is, "The doctor after I pee in that little cup." And it's like him sipping it after. So
That's incredible. Okay, so my next one is from Anonymous. She says, "I did get him trained pretty well in the oral services department." And I said, "Thank God." And she said, "So I'd like that time back, please. He didn't do it before. He didn't do it before me."
Oof.
And I said, "You should be reimbursed. And also, that is such a man thing. Can you imagine saying you'd never given head before your spouse?"
No, honestly though. No, honestly.
Leave the silence in, guys. When you're editing, you leave that silence because it should be there, because that's no woman ever.
No woman ever.
And her response was, "A woman absolutely could never." And a laughing face, but really it should have been like a crying face because we're the ones out here suffering.
Yeah. And taking one for the team, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is from our Swifty group chat. This is from Sam, and it was a voice note. And I'll just kind of describe. She was talking about Reputation and like how she doesn't really see like Reputation coming out after debut because we're also hyped about it, but she also doesn't see it coming out before. It's hard to see which scenario makes more sense because everyone's so hyped about Reputation. Like, would she really not finish with it? But also debut like on her birthday in December, which is my thing. Makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I totally agree with all that. And then right after that, at the voice note at the very end, you hear someone like shouting, and she types right after that, "By the way, that was Austin shouting in quotations, my butthole," at the end there. And he did yell my butthole at the end. And I do have some questions. I wonder what was going on over there.
No, my butthole. I have to say that only Sam could make something like butthole sound so wholesome. Like,
She does.
it's so cute.
Okay, so this is my last one. It's with Amber. She said, "You're the best. How's the evening going for you?" I said, "It's going well. My friend and I are about to play a glow round of disc golf. I haven't played glow golf in a while." And then Amber said, "Oh, that sounds fun as shit. Did you glow as well?" And the funny thing is, I never realized that you asked this until I was reading back through my text to try to find the funny text. So I never answered you in the moment, but I have questions at this point. I would like to know kind of like where your head was at.
I think I meant like I was more so meaning like it would be fun if you like I know that you're not glowing. Like it's the discs glowing.
Uh-huh.
I assume.
Yes, that is correct.
I guess I don't totally know. But yeah, I think I was mostly meaning like it would be cool if you had like glow paint on or something as well. But
Well, it's
that's not how I worded it.
no. It is kind of funny though because you're not far off. There were people there and we thought this was a great idea. They had like glow lights like around their
Oh, like
necks
a
and
glow stick.
stuff
Yeah, yeah.
because this course like crisscrosses a lot, but you're playing it in the dark. So you might not see if someone is standing in the field in front of you unless
Yeah.
they have like a glow thing
Or like
on
really
them.
light clothing on or something. Yeah.
So
No,
I
I think it would
think
be super helpful to have like a stockpile of glow sticks.
yeah, no, next time I go, I think honestly I am gonna glow me. So you were spot on. I
I
just
mean,
thought it was so funny that like I didn't even see that or respond to it. And as I was like going through our text today, I was like, wait, what did she say?
I actually like I realized that like the question never got answered. I didn't go back to it because I was like, you fucking dumbass. Like, why did you ask her that? Because I immediately was like, I wonder what she thinks about that question. So Love Island, yeah?
I swear when I see the top of our notes, it's been a whole week of Love. I mean, it's been 5 episodes. It always is just like alarming when I see the top. I'm like, is that
Is
really still from this last week? It feels
yeah.
like it was so long ago.
Watched basically all of the last week of Love Island in the last 2 days.
That's
Um,
impressive.
because I didn't watch it. I tried to while I was out of town, but I just couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. The movie night sucked.
Yeah, we picked up on movie night part 2. The whole thing was real hard to watch. Good TV, I will say.
Good TV, but like questionable producers because it's like they know how much shit they're putting Kaylor through.
Yeah,
And Serena. I mean, here's the thing, like if those guys never acted shitty to begin with, there would be no shitty footage to sit through.
exactly. And like
Ultimately.
the producers and stuff do put them in these situations, but like the guys still did that shit. And I've
Yeah.
seen other seasons where the guys don't do that shit. So
Yeah.
um showing the footage, yeah, that sucks and stuff, but again, the guys did it and that is really what
Yeah.
happened. And I am kind of glad that the girls like did get to see actually what happened while they're still in there and they can like, make their own decisions. Although some of it was like a little taken out of context.
Absolutely. And I think it's like I think they all have to watch that footage with a grain of salt because obviously there's going to be context missing. That's just there's no way there couldn't be. Like they
Right.
were separated from each other for several days. So
Mhm.
I think they probably know that a little bit, but it's also just like, yeah, it was just hard to watch some of them watching the footage.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Definitely felt for Kaylor and Serena.
for
Does
sure.
Aaron have anger issues? And I wrote this down on movie night. And I cackled when I saw that you put this photo in our shared notes.
I submitted evidence. I submitted photographic evidence to whether Aaron had anger issues because I agree. I think he handled it so poorly. He could not handle the heat. He didn't want to hear it. And also, what my photographic evidence is it looks like he just walks into the ocean or the woods. Like you can't really tell because they have like the like satellite version, like
Yeah.
way over, they're over top of the villa and you can see him walking away and it just looks like he's walking into the abyss.
I would like to point out too, Amber has him circled on the photo here.
And I had to go back, I had to keep like rewinding the to make sure I got the picture at the right time.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
yes, I marked it up. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Rob telling Aaron to suck it up and deal with it because Kayla's feelings are valid. Again, when did Rob become the voice of reason? And like, it doesn't track. It's just not tracking for me. I've seen the lip syncing videos.
Rob has some emotional intelligence. Maybe not when it comes to his own relationships, but he has shown signs of having emotional intelligence. That was the
Yeah.
smartest thing he's ever said. Like he's still, and we've talked about this before with this group, like how they support each other even when they're wrong, like how Serena has backed up Leah
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Um Rob said it to Aaron in a way that wasn't like this mean alpha male. Like he said it like, "Hey, no, you need to suck it up. Like Kayla's a great girl and you did her dirty and her feelings are valid." He says to
Right.
Aaron that Kayla's feelings are valid and I just don't think that Aaron would have gotten that accountability from anyone else in the house. And I'm
Mhm.
glad that it came from someone like Rob, who Aaron respects, because I feel like he was willing to hear him on it to some extent.
I do love the bromance between them. It is really
It's
cute.
cute.
Um,
I'm
let's see.
really glad that Leah took accountability for the really fucked up shit she said about Rob because watching that back, in
Mhm.
the moment when that happened, I was just like, oh, like that is so harsh on Rob. He acted crazy, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but like
Oh, he
to
was an
attack him
asshole.
to attack him for crying or having
Yes.
feelings, that's a whole other thing. And Leah, I have gone back and forth with a little bit over the season, and I feel like that
Same.
made me like totally like I may not agree with your decisions, but it made me respect her a little bit more that she was willing
Mhm.
to just be like, "Hey, that was really messed up." And she apologized to him during movie night and she pulled him aside the next day to like
Mhm.
make sure he knew
Yeah.
that she felt badly for it.
I will say Leah might be one of my favorites now, and I feel like it's because I'm just like we've been on this journey together. Like she's growing, I'm growing as a person as I'm going through these 32 episodes that have been released. And you do really see like growth in her
Character
though.
development. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said it's back and forth kind of, and I don't know, I've grown to love her through it, I think.
I
I'm just loving Nicole and Kendall in general. After Harrison like pulled Nicole and had like a date with her, like she's just still so like invested in Kendall, and just seeing
yeah.
the relationship develop has been really cute. We've got some like pretty like quite a few strong couples
I
on
think
this
they're my
season.
favorite though. Nicole and Kendall to me seem like the best fit so far.
They've been the
Um,
least toxic.
they have been the least toxic and they do have a lot in common. They both are in similar positions career wise, if not the same field. Um, and they just like you can see them together. It's
Yeah.
not just that they they like the way each other looks or they fit together in a way that I don't know that a lot of the other couples do, but there are a lot of really strong couples that I really really like, but I think yeah, I really respected Nicole kind of like comforted Kendall a little, which I thought was fair because she did kind of go off with Miguel a little bit there for a while, so I think Kendall was feeling a little
Yeah.
some type of way about that. And so there was one part where she was like, "You don't have anything to worry about," and he was just like, "Thank you for saying that." Like he was just
Yeah.
grateful for her like supporting him.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, this was an interesting moment of like, I felt like it was kind of like locker room talk that women like ourselves usually aren't privy to.
Hmm.
But Kenny was talking to the guys. It was after he and Janae had been in the hideaway, and he told the guys usually he gets post nut clarity, but this time he didn't. And what he meant, it seemed like was insinuated by post nut clarity is usually after you nut, you're like, what am I doing with this person? And
Okay, so it's like an actual nice thing to him.
for Janae, yeah, but I'm just blown away that and none of the guys were like, what is post nut clarity? This seemed like very common terminology used amongst them, and I've never heard this.
I've
So I'm just
never
over
heard it.
here
It
like,
makes sense now that you're
are
explaining it.
men
But the
saying
fact,
this?
go home. You're all disappointing.
All of you, yeah.
No, thank you.
Interesting.
I think I could have gone without that. I must have missed that.
You maybe blocked it out.
I also was confused because in the note it says
But
he said he usually gets post butt clarity. And I was just thinking, like, when did he and Janae have butt sex? I must have missed it. Like, probably they didn't show that in the hideaway and it was just insinuated.
a lot happened in that hideaway, I think, that we didn't
Yeah.
see, which is fine. I don't want to see that. That's very private.
Keep your footage, please.
Mm-hmm,
Don't. Like, maybe don't keep the footage of that.
Don't listen to us. We have no authority on this.
Very voyeuristic. Although we're obsessed with Love Island, so at this point, like, we are just as bad. You have created monsters.
Yeah, but we are this way because you trained us and you feed us every day almost.
Yeah, five times a week. Kane getting dropped from the island so abruptly. Since being dumped, he had posted like 30 TikToks breaking down his time in the villa, and it possibly had producer drama. Like, he wasn't jiving with the producers, they weren't getting along, and so that's why they dumped him so abruptly.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know if that's true.
Someone who Kane was talking to, like, talked to someone else, like, briefly. Oh, it wasn't Liv, it was Sierra. Yeah.
So
and
she
he
goes
had
on a
that
date
weird
with the new guy. Yeah. And she comes back and asks, like, and he's kind of like pissy about her being on a date, and he says that he won't continue talking to her if she pursues just having a conversation with the other guy. Not even.
And I tell you what, red flags went up for me right there. So I wonder if there was something going on behind the scenes too with that kind of attitude.
There was also a weird moment between Serena and Kane once it was announced that he was going to be leaving. Like, Serena, they had a weird moment, and it seemed like some of the women didn't like him. So it might have been because of what happened with Sierra. Like, she was vocalizing to the women that, like, he had said that to her. So it could have totally just been like the girls having her back. And that wouldn't surprise me. But I think he is very off-putting in conversation to me.
I didn't have anything against him until that conversation with Sierra. And then I was like, I mean, he never did anything to make me really like him before that either. But the conversation with Sierra, I was like, nope, I don't like him. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, though, because all of the couples are starting to close off. So we've got Kayla and Aaron, who I really liked Kayla and Aaron for such a long time. And it's such a shame that Aaron had to go fuck it up at Casa, because Kayla is the best.
And it's so hard to believe anything Aaron says anymore because it doesn't come off as genuine. It doesn't even come off that he's like genuinely sorry to me. It just seems like he's trying to get out in the easiest way possible or move forward in the easiest way possible. That's why he was like, whatever, I'll just leave her at that one point, remember? I love Kayla, don't love Aaron.
Don't love Aaron. Thought the I love you was a cop-out, and thought, like, the part where he gives her the shell necklace, it's like, oh, here's this shell that's 2 inches away from us that I probably just spotted half a second ago, and was like, oh, if I give her a present, she'll forgive me for being an idiot.
And a gift that takes literally no, like, cook her a meal or like do something that takes some goddamn effort. Like, you're walking 2 feet away and picking up a fucking trash shell amongst many shells.
And the thing is, he does do that sweet thing when he asks her to be his girlfriend. He, like, plans that dinner where he sets up the area and they have flowers and everything. But it's like, Rob carried that. Rob was more excited than Aaron. Like, Rob was like giddy to be helping him. And so it's
Mhm.
just like, I don't know. It just feels icky. It doesn't feel, you're right, it doesn't feel genuine coming from him at all.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's trying to save face.
And I don't think, honestly, when they get out, I don't think it's gonna work. The distance is too much, especially with what he's done. I mean, he was how close, for a couple days away, and that's how he acted?
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't think he's really trustworthy at this point. So
Mm-mm.
it's a
Mm-mm.
shame. Because they
Mhm.
really, like, I do think that they have genuine feelings for each other. I just think it's not love. I think it's lust. And
Maybe love on Kaylor's part too, but yeah, like him, I don't know about.
yeah, it's hard to trust. Yeah.
Mhm.
I obviously we don't watch the After Sun episodes,
Mhm.
but I did love having Mora on this episode. Her accent is phenomenal. I could listen to her talk
I
all
know.
day.
I love her accent, yeah.
I'm not even going to try to replicate it. Just
No way.
Mora's accent.
Yeah.
Just this. Yeah.
I always think it's wild when they turn the cast on each other and make them, like, send people home, and,
I
I
also
feel for
think the
them.
producers have, like, they don't decide until the very last minute how they're going to do things. I think the producers make strategic decisions. So they bring in the bombshell. They've got the two couples standing there who are going to be, we think, both kicked out. And it's Sierra and the new guy. Don't even remember his name. And Daniela and Rob. And they tell the new girl that she can save one of the guys if she couples up with them, and she saves Rob. Of course.
I
Because this
know.
guy
I
can't die. Like he's been how many couples?
2 seasons. 2 seasons. Like, he has had his time. It ain't working. I
Oh,
mean, it's not.
how many people can Rob possibly couple up with? $20 if you could name all of the people he's coupled up with.
Oh, no way.
Off
Well,
the top
okay,
of your head.
Leah, Andrea,
Oh no, there was one before that. Leah,
I said Leah.
but there was someone after Leah before Andrea.
Yeah, no, I'm out. I lost.
Liv. He when Liv
They were
first comes
coupled
in.
up?
Yeah, he
Oh,
ditches
that's
Leah,
right.
and then he ditches Leah again for Andrea.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And then he's been with 18 people since then. So there we go.
Mm, I lost that $20. So the last game that they did, or challenge, whatever they're called, was intense. The questions, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
those are really hard to answer, like, in front of the
Especially
people
the
you're
ones
talking about.
about other people. Yeah. Like it's not
Yeah,
even like the ones they're asking, like, what is their favorite this or, like
school
that's like,
subject or something, like, whatever, but then they're like, who is the person that they think talks the most shit? And it's
yeah.
like,
Who do
shoot.
they dislike the most?
Yeah, and then,
Really all.
like, so I guess we should explain it a little bit for the listeners, but, like, pretty much the couples had to play, this challenge where they were asked certain questions and they had to guess what their partner would say. So they would
Mhm.
ask questions like, who does your partner think, is the most selfish in here, or is in here for the wrong reasons?
Yeah.
And so
Oh.
the partner would have to guess, and, like, I feel like sometimes it would be from the partner's perspective, they're like, "Okay, this person's been bitching, like, my partner's been bitching to me about this person, so I'm gonna write this person down." But the partner is friends with that person, so they're not
Yeah.
actually gonna write that person down, so they write someone else down, but their partner pretty much puts them on blast because they're like, "Oh, I thought it was that," and then that person's like, "Why would your partner think that
Yeah.
I'm the answer to that?"
It was like, again, good TV.
Good TV. Mhm, mhm. There was one point when, they I think it was Janae, they asked who, complains the most. And I can't remember if Kenny guessed Kaylor, and did Janae write it down too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They both wrote it down.
Okay, so it was agreed that it was Kaylor. And then at some point, when Rob was up there, Kaylor like complained about one of his answers. Rob can't see who's talking, but he goes, "Is that Kaylor over there complaining?"
It was the best thing Rob has said the entire time.
Hands
Like,
down.
yeah. 10
Mm-hmm.
points to Rob. Yeah.
And then at the end, so they were playing that challenge to win a chance to get to see their family the next day,
Mm-hmm.
which is super sweet. And all the Love Islands I've seen, which again are like kind of outdated, everyone would get a visit with their family at some point. So I guess
Okay.
now they're not doing that with everyone. Like you have to win the challenge to get the visit with the family, which is brutal.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought it was so sweet because Serena's mom had gone into surgery recently that the winning couple got to choose two other couples to also get to see their family. And Kayla and Aaron chose Serena and Cordell too, so that Serena could see her mom who had surgery recently. And I thought that was so sweet.
Ariana says this at one point in one of the episodes, how like their friendships are the best part of watching the whole thing and being with them. And I do think watching their friendships has been half of the reason that watching the show has been so much fun, because they all genuinely, you can see how much they love each other
Mm-hmm.
and they fight like family, but they're together 24/7. Like I do expect some of that. Um,
This
yeah, I think they have so many good friendships in there.
This is a rare season too, where there's a lot of OGs. Like a lot of times, the original, like you
Yeah.
won't have any of the original by the end, but there's a like most of them are original.
Most of the
Um,
women, especially,
hmm
and
Yeah,
the guys, a good
yeah,
bit of the guys. Yeah.
yeah. So they're just
So
kind of holding tight to their little, net of friends. So yeah, that is really cool to see.
I love it. I am going to be depressed when this is over.
No, we're
And
not thinking about it.
it's been so fun to experience collectively.
I'm so glad that you're watching it with me. I know I've said that already, but
Yeah.
it's just so
No.
fun.
It really pisses me off when we can't watch the episode at the same time. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that we're finally caught up to the same place.
Mhm.
We've got more missed connections. Because those were so fun the last time. So these are not from any specific place. These are random all over the place. So they're not geographically connected to us in any
Okay.
way.
Okay.
The title of this one is I Know.
Okay. Starting strong.
Was that you on the 11th floor today? Or was that someone else? I think I saw you, but I didn't put it together until now. I think we're connected the same way bodies are reflected in mirrors. That's a hint for you.
This is a fucking puzzle.
Yes. It's kind of creepy. And also, just like, is this person on the same planet as everyone else?
Right. The way bodies are connected in mirrors is this it none of it makes sense.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
I like it though.
The next one's pretty classic as well. The titles are my favorite part, I think. It's called Tinder Girl with Humpback Whale Sounds as Anthem. Oh my god,
Can
I
we get
can't.
that one more again?
Tinder Girl with Humpback Whale Sounds as Anthem. So if you're the Tinder girl with Humpback Whale Sounds as your anthem, I would like to meet you.
Please come on the
Kindly,
podcast. Please, you are
kindly
welcome.
email. You're invited.
Or rudely, and email us at all.
Any way you want to email, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So just starting strong with the title. You stole my heart with the whale sounds. We had conversation about Ariana Grande bangers, and then I was off Tinder for a while and came back and you were gone. If you have any leads on this cool ass chick, please let me know, or please let her know. My heart is aching. XO.
Oh, my
Was this
heart
written
is-
by Gossip Girl? Like XO? What are you doing at the end?
A
Like,
tender
what was it
misconnection. Oof.
about the whale sounds? Um,
Yeah, can we get an
do y'all send?
explanation?
Do you send voice notes on Tinder?
No.
So, like, how was he hearing humpback whale sounds?
And as her anthem, so he didn't hear that just once.
No, it's sounds as in plural. And also, no offense, but does Ariana Grande have that many bangers?
There was that guy she slept with, who was with someone else. So she banged him, right?
I think bangers they
No,
meant.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Sorry, that was dumb.
So this one is titled "In the Woods." So of course it caught my eye.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah. Sorry.
It's also like the audacity to post a misconnection from someone you saw in
In
the
the
woods.
woods? Like,
It's giving creepy.
it's giving, do they have a computer?
They must.
Well, this person does, but does the other person?
Oh,
There's
correct.
in no world do both of them have a computer.
No way. No way, because they were both in the woods.
Right.
Yeah. And the first sentence really explains it. You were you were a beautiful forest nymph, climbing trees and dressed as a Sith Lord. I was a wounded surfer wearing an obnoxiously pastel V-neck. Obnoxiously pastel is descriptive. We sat on a moss-covered tree branch. Our eyes met coyly. Columns of sunlight pierced the arched forest canopy. We kissed each other, hoping you see this and we can rendezvous beyond bientôt.
In the woods. Interesting.
So I think that one was a fever dream or a mushroom trip.
I was about to say, this feels like something from one of your fairy books.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that this one, I don't think the other person, the forest nymph climbing trees and dressed as a Sith Lord, I don't think that person was actually there. Or maybe this is Fern Gully.
Like the dressed as a Sith Lord
The best part.
part for me.
A beautiful forest nymph.
So I'm picturing a Tinkerbell kind of outfit, and then he's
but then Sith Lord.
Was there a lightsaber?
They don't mention it, and I feel like they probably would have at some point when they were talking about the obnoxiously pastel V-neck.
It was very descriptive, actually. Yeah, so they probably would have included that.
That detail probably would have been in there if it happened, because it would have been like you were a beautiful forest nymph climbing trees and dressed as a Sith Lord with a lightsaber.
True. Mm-hmm.
You know?
As the light shining through the arches tickled your lightsaber, and yeah,
on the moss-covered tree. Coyly.
Love that, man. I really like the Missed Connections.
They're great.
Okay, so for this week's Who's the Better Friend, we have favorite foods that we're gonna guess. I think I guessed first last week, so on to you. Sorry, I'm using my pen a lot visually today.
You know what? I will match your energy there. Okay. I feel pretty good about my number one spot. I said sushi.
Dang. Actually, I didn't put sushi on here, but that it probably should have been.
Butt hurt.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. No point.
No, that is a great guess.
Okay, for number two, I have two guesses. So I feel like if I guess either one, I should get some kind of pointage. It's either Taco Bell or key lime pie.
Those are not wrong, but they're not on my list.
Damn it. Okay. I'm nervous about the third one because I don't think it's my strongest. Charcuterie. Damn it. No point.
No. Okay, 0 for Amber today. I repeat, 0.
Okay, so what were they?
Okay, so mine top, and this is the one I thought for sure you were gonna get. It's like, it's what you cook for me the most. Every time I come over, you make me Alfredo.
It's because I like it.
Well, that's good to know. Number 2 was pizza, but honestly, I think you should get a point for sushi because really, I feel like sushi is, so we'll give you a point. We'll give you
I feel
one
like I
point.
should get half a point because it wasn't your number one.
And then I
And
think I'm going to move pizza down. So sushi will be 2, and then pizza is 3. Pizza's lame. I know. I'm a
what
baby.
was the original number 3 before?
Barbecue pork.
Okay, I did almost say barbecue, but
Did you?
yeah, because I was
Okay.
thinking like we do that a lot too, but then I was like, no, you guys just do barbecue because it's easy.
Yeah, that too. Actually, when I say barbecue pork, it's not like the barbecue pork I have at home. It's like when I go out and get
Go
barbecue.
out to eat. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. So my turn to guess for you.
Yeah.
Number 1, Alfredo.
No. It
Is it
is
on?
on the list.
Okay, so a
Well,
point.
pasta is on the list. But I would
That
accept
counts.
Alfredo because
That
Alfredo is my
counts.
favorite kind of pasta. Yeah.
Number 2, charcuterie.
I did not put charcuterie on my list.
Okay, it's funny we both put it for each other, but not for ourselves.
Because we
We've
always
had
eat charcuterie.
we've had a lot of charcuterie.
It's because we drink the wine. That's what goes with
Yes,
it. It's the wine. We should put wine on
that's
there.
true.
Food, wine.
Number 3, this is kind of a long shot. Guac.
Ooh, good guess. I feel like that should have been on the list, actually, but it wasn't.
Okay. Well,
Definitely should have been.
we're tied this time, so I'm doing better than I have the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
You still take the lead for the total series points. Okay.
Oh, do you want to know what my actual answers were?
Yeah. I
Okay.
do.
So the first, I put seafood or scallops. Either
Oh.
any kind of seafood.
Dang, it's like I feel like
seafood pasta.
all of these should be on my list.
It's hard to pick a top 3. Like it really is hard to narrow down.
Yeah.
For number 2, I put Reese cups or cheesecake. Because by then I had moved on to dessert.
I wasn't thinking about dessert at all. Because you guessed key lime pie too. That's such a great guess for me. And I just wasn't thinking dessert.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I should have taken it off when you said entrees. And I was like, I was just thinking in general.
I did give you a hint there.
You did, and I kept it. So that's on me. And then, so my third was pasta. But like, you could have said pesto pasta. You could have said shrimp scampi. You could have said any pasta, and I would have accepted it. So
okay, that tracks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Amber still is the overall champion. And I've got 1 point at all.
Total.
And Amber has 1, 2, 3, 4. So well, Tori's catching up. Tori's closing the gap.
What did we decide will be next week's?
For next week, we are doing favorite hobbies.
Ooh. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna do well on this.
Damn, I know.
You shouldn't let me be the one to pick them.
So I think that's it. This will probably be a little bit shorter than an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess 47 minutes.
I'm gonna guess 57.
56.
Okay.
56.
Okay, 56 and a half.
Yeah.
56 and 0.789.
Patronus.
My Patronus is a Narcoleptic Pegasus with Vertigo. Mm-hmm.
Mine is a deer.
Okay. I like that though.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, it makes sense because my mom thinks my dad is reincarnated as every deer that ever comes in contact with her.
Mm-hmm. That's why I like it.
Got
it's
a lot
cute.
of dads.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram at Out of Touch, the letter P, cast. Follow us on TikTok at Out of Touch Moments. And send us an email at outoftouchcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
Bye. Do we normally say bye?
We do, yeah. And last time I accidentally said bye and I cut it out of the edit, but After you said bye, I also said bye. And then I heard it back when I was editing, and I'm like, wait, that's not what we normally do.